Welcome to Dark Lore Review, and today I'm gonna review Animal Farm. Animal Farm is a 1954 animated film based on the novel of the same name by George Orwell, and is produced by British animation company House and Batchelor. The film is also funded by the CIA as a propaganda film against communism, and the head of the CIA operation to obtain the film rights from Orwell's widow was done by none other than E. Howard Hunt. Yeah, that E. Howard Hunt, who later became famous as Richard Nixon's Watergate burglar. So without further ado, let's dive into Animal Farm. The film begins at Manor Farm, a former prosperous farm that has fallen on hard times, and suffers under the now ineffective leadership of its drunken and abusive owner, Mr. Jones. One night, Old Major, the prize boar of the farm, calls the animal for a meeting, where he addresses the cruelty of the farm and Mr. Jones, as he states that the horse Boxer would be killed when he's no longer useful, and how everything the animals produce, like milk and eggs, are taken away from them.
Our children are born to cold and hunger. You Parkers! Do you know what the future holds for you? Do we deserve such a fate?
And encourages them to break free of their tyrant's influence, while reminding them that they must hold true to their convictions after they gain freedom.
Courage!
Okay, now that's a little Hillary. With that, he teaches the animals a revolutionary song, Beasts of England. Why does that sound familiar to me? However, Old Major dies mid-song to the animal's horror. The next morning, Mr. Jones neglects to feed the animals, and they decide to break into the storehouse to help themselves. When Mr. Jones wakes up and attempts to intimidate them with his whip, the animal revolts, or they have been smoking his pot. He drives the drunken, unresponsible Mr. Jones from the farm. However, Mr. Jones comes back with backup to reclaim the farm. The animals notice and prepare for battle. The animals are successful and drive them out of the farm.
The animals had fought and won. They had casualties to mourn, and those who died left children to be cared for.
And they rename it Animal Farm. They set to destroy every influence of Mr. Jones. An investigation of the farmhouse leads them to concede against living there, although one of the pigs, a boar named Napoleon, takes interest in the abandoned house, and even more so in a litter of puppies left motherless. Meanwhile, a young pig named Snowball writes the 7 commandments of animalism on the wall of the barn to illustrate their community's laws. 4 legs good, 2 legs bad. Oh, that sucks for the ducks and chickens.
Wings count as legs.
Okay. Okay, maybe not. The most important is the seventh. All animals are equal. All the animals work. Snowball attempts to teach the animals to read and write. Food is plentiful and the farm runs smoothly. Napoleon takes the puppies and trains them privately. When Snowball announces his idea for a windmill, Napoleon opposes it. Snowball makes a speech in favor of the windmill. However, Napoleon has his dogs chase Snowball away. In Snowball's absence, Napoleon declares himself leader and makes changes. He even takes the windmill as his own idea. Meetings will no longer be held, and instead a committee of pigs will run the farm. Napoleon spurs the animals into setting forth his regime. The animals work harder with the promise of an easier life with the windmill. Napoleon abuses his power, making life harder for the animals. The pigs impose more control, while reserving privileges for themselves. During this time, the pigs also decide to start altering their own laws. When the pigs are discovered to have been sleeping in the old farmhouse, the law of no animal shall sleep in beds is changed to no animal shall sleep in beds with sheets. Before long, Napoleon's greed drives him to negotiate with a local trader named Mr. Whymper for a supply of jellies and jams. The price is all the chickens' eggs. When the chickens discover this, they attempt to revolt by throwing their eggs at the pigs. To instill fear, Napoleon not only puts the chickens at the hands of the pig committee, but also a duck and sheep. They were taken outside and murdered by the dogs. With their blood used to edit a commandment regarding killing to being legal with cause. Beast of England is banned as inappropriate according to Napoleon.
Under penalty of death.
The dream of Animal Farm has been realized. Jealous of Whymper's financial success due to his trade with Animal Farm, a hostile group of farmers decide to attack the farm, and Mr. Jones is denied the chance to rejoin them. The animals once again prepare for war, this time with camouflage tactics. The battle begins, however, unlike the first battle, where Snowball led from the front, Napoleon hides like a bitch. Though the animals win the battle, they do so at a great cost, which includes Boxer being wounded, the windmill being blown up with Mr. Jones inside. Boxer continues to work harder and harder. All of the other animals continue to build the windmill, while the pigs pig out. Then one stormy night, while we're on the windmill, Boxer's working alone, when the rope slips from his mouth and he gets crushed by a large rock. So Napoleon sends a van to take Boxer to a veterinarian. Benjamin discovers that the van belongs to Mr. Whymper's glue factory, and wait a minute, that's my face. Why is my face on a glue truck? Was the Elmer's cow not available? Anyways, Benjamin attempts to mount a rescue, however his attempts are futile, and Boxer's taken away. Squealer delivers a phony speech claiming to have been at Boxer's side at his deathbed.
His last words were, "Forward, comrades! Long live Napoleon!"
He also dismisses any claim that Boxer was sold in exchange for money. The hurt animals fully realize that Boxer's death was planned simply to further loyalty to Napoleon's dictatorship, but they are sent away by snarling dogs. Years pass and the pigs now have learned to walk upright and wear clothes. Napoleon now dressed in a suit with medals. Looks like a certain person I've seen before. The 7 commandments are reduced to a single phrase. All animals are equal, but some animals are equal than others. Napoleon holds a party for a delegation of outside pigs, congratulate Napoleon, on having the hardest working animals in the country on the least feed. Napoleon gives a toast to when pigs own and operate farms everywhere. Benjamin overhears the conversation and starts to see the faces of the pigs change into the face of Mr. Jones. Realizing that things have become worse than ever, all the other animals unite together to overthrow Napoleon. Napoleon calls for help, but his guard dogs are all drunk as hell. The animals charge the house and overthrow those piggies. The film closes with a smashed portrait of Napoleon as he's being overwhelmed by animals and beaten to death. And that was Animal Farm. And my god, it's dark. It's pretty dark for a 1950s cartoon. The tone of it, depressing and often disturbing. The animation is pretty well done for a 50s propaganda cartoon. It often reminded me of the classic Disney cartoons. The eerie music makes the film more disturbing, and the film's message about communism is pretty blunt, with the narration giving a lot of exposition. And I know that's the purpose of a propaganda film, to scare the bejesus out of you about communism. And if you're not familiar with the book, all these animals are based on real people. For example, Napoleon's based on Stalin, as it mirrors his rise to power and dictatorship. Snowball is based on Leon Trotsky, Old Major as Karl Marx and Vladimir Lenin, Boxer as the working class, and the dogs as the KGB. Also, I noticed that the film's ending has changed from the book, as the book mentions how Benjamin sees the pigs having dinner with humans and can't tell them apart, and it ends there, with no revolt and no happy ending. My guess is the film tries to be hopeful in overthrowing communism, as it's seen as a destruction of the free world, and not as a cautionary tale about willingly giving away your rights and letting corruption win. But hey, to each his own. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos just like this. Stay safe out there. Goodbye.
United forever in friendship and labor, our mighty republics will ever endure. The great Soviet Union will live through the ages, the dream of a people, their fortress secure. Long live our Soviet mother!